So here's a figure that I got at BotCon 2023, and I thought, this would be a cool figure to review. This is an incidental review of Transformers Studio Series Decepticon Brawl, and all I want to say is, wow. This figure is either a hit or a miss, to be honest. So let's start with the robot mode. Overall, he looks pretty accurate to how he does in the film. He's got all of his guns, his large turret on his back, his shoulder cannons, all the basics that 07 Brawl has. And yes, I'm gonna be calling him Brawl, because he's not Devastator. I don't care what you Bayverse fans say, this is not Devastator. This is Brawl. Deal with it. The sculpt for this figure is actually pretty amazing. I mean, it looks identical on how he looked in the film, minor a few details, but I mean, like, they pulled off everything pretty well. I mean, you can even see those little creepy teeth he's got, and I know it's hard to see because of the camera lens, but he has red eyes behind those, like, little silver slants there. So, overall, they did the face mold good, they did his proportions well, and overall, he looks pretty accurate, minus some kibble, to how he looked in Transformers 2007. But there is one big issue. It's paint application. Now look, don't get me wrong, the paint is fine, it's the right shade of green, I'm pretty sure, but the problem is, it feels unfinished. There's a lot of parts of it that should be painted, such as, I don't know, maybe like the shoulder cannons, they should have like maybe a bit of like dull gray, or like metallic gray or silver here, or something. At least make it look a bit more, finished. A lot of areas that have silver should be like a bronze color instead. Like, there's a bunch of miscolorization here. Like, even the box art itself shows some of that bronze gold color I was talking about that should be on this figure, but it's lacking it extremely for some reason. I have no idea why. Maybe this is like, maybe they just didn't have the budget, which, in my opinion, is a bunch of BS because this is Hasbro we're talking about. But then again, now that I rethink my claim, this is Hasbro we're talking about. And of course, they tend to not paint everything since, well, they're Hasbro. The articulation is definitely special. It's got the average head rotation, 360 degrees head rotation. It's got the normal ball joint rotations over here on the shoulder cannons. But then we have the arms. The arms have the average flip up, flip down, move forward, But then there's this weird joint where for some reason the joint can move this way and this way. I'm sure this is normal for some figures, but I don't know. For me, it just seemed weird on here. Maybe that's just me. Moving on to the legs, it's got the normal move forward, move backwards. It's got the normal knee joints for both of them. And if you want, you can make him try to do a split, but he can't due to that big old turret in the way. Now the feet is why I'm mainly talking about the articulation, because you cannot pose the feet whatsoever. There's no articulation in the feet. He can't, unlike most figures that have hinges over here, like so, where you can make the figure a bit more durable and flexible, here he's got none of that. I mean, you can technically put, you can unflap this piece back here, but that's part of a transformation mechanic, so I don't count it. Overall, it's just a bunch of articulation issues. Another issue I forgot to mention about the head is that he can't look up, so he has to do this, like, very iconic and awkward bat turn from the Michael Keaton 1989 Batman movie. So yeah, you could now say Brawl is Batman. Oh no, he fell. So after that painfully complicated transformation, I have one thing and one thing only to say about this vehicle mode.
I can deny it no longer! I am small.
Now, I will give credit where credit is due. It's a very great-looking tank mode, and it's accurate to the film. But it's so small. If you compare it to any other figure, let's say Buzzworthy Bumblebee Silver Streak. Silver Streak is just as big as Brawl in vehicle mode. Now, you might say, oh, but that's okay. No, it's not okay. Tanks are huge, and Brawl specifically over here towered absolutely above everyone in the 07 movie. Don't believe me? Look at this. See, I know even though Jazz is a very small character, either way, he was able to jump on top of Brawl really easily. If I got a Jazz figure, Studio Series-wise, I don't have the Bayverse version, but if I did have it, the Bayverse version would be, like, more massive than Brawl is. In toy form, that is. Another bad thing is, the back of it does not tab in. There's nothing to tab these two things together. I thought there was, but there's not, so it's just awkwardly hanging out like that. Another thing, the turret doesn't move. See, it's locked in place. The upper turret moves around, so I guess that's cool, but other than that, it doesn't move. And here's another complaint. Blast pieces can't apply to this. Trust me, I've tried. I tried putting this blast piece, won't fit. I tried putting it onto here, they won't fit. They won't fit. You can't put it on here. You can kind of put it in between here, but it just doesn't look right. And I know you could say, oh, well, maybe because this is too big. Yeah, all blast effects have a similar, like, tab-in piece. So, you can't fit any blast effects onto it, unfortunately. So, that's a bit unfortunate. But whatever. Overall, it's an okay vehicle mode. It's too small. It's got turret issues and tab-in issues, but other than that, it's quite detailed. So now that begs the question on this guy. What do I think about him? Well, because of his issues and the stuff I like about him, I give him maybe a 6 out of 10. So, yeah, he's mighty fine looking on the shelf, he's an okay figure, and his name is Brawl. I don't care if his name in the movie's Devastator, it's Brawl. Brawl! Uh-oh. Well, it has appeared that Brawl has died, just like the actual movie. Wow, so accurate! Anyway, tune in next time for my next review. This is going to be the end of this video. Good day.